Well, this is part 2, and I bear updates, as usual. I'm not gonna be able to disassemble the head. I've already washed it just like that. I'm really glad that the face light is not burned or anything, because that would be a fucking nightmare, but this fucking head is sealed. It's fucking sealed, and we're not talking about sealed with glue, which you can crack the glue open and that's practically it. We are talking about sealed with its own fucking plastic. Here I already, trimmed it off, but if you guys can see over there, that is not a difference between both shells. That's actually melted plastic. Same deal was between the antenna, the head. You guys can see, of course, where it's spray painted, and the paint is actually coming off too. So I don't think it's worth cleaning. Like trying to pry it off and then cleaning it up. So I just washed it and that's it. At least the face light works. So we have that out of the way. We're gonna begin by taking the final bits out of what would be the gearbox. And at the same time, I could probably take the chance. I mean, I know it's going to be a long-ass video, but I could take the chance and explain exactly how do these gearboxes work. So this is going to get cleaned up. However, you can tell it must have spun a few times because it has scratches over there. Like, when it spins. So this definitely was used at some point. Here's pretty much the block with the gear that I showed in the last video where I broke the flap off. This basically goes over here like this, and then you have this gear, which I noticed it's also split. Same with this thing here. Actually, the 12-tooth gear over there. Don't even know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can find the crack there. You guys can see a little eeny weeny crack over there, right there. So this, I'm going to probably have to take the gear off the shaft and make the hole a bit bigger, then zip tie it, just like like I do with the helical gears. But this is pretty much what gives life to any Feng Yuan walking spinning robot that's not the large ones, and most off-branded ones. All the Happy Kit robots that spin and walk have a gearbox like this, only that with a few differences and such. This is a gearbox that was mainly used in the Chrome Crusader, when they had plastic gears and everything. Then of course they came back to metal. Here's the little piece that shoots the shooter, which is a metallic gear that is cut in certain spots to make the to make the classic thing where it shoots but it's interrupted, kind of like what a Saturn has, but Saturn's is bigger and everything. The gummy gear, which I haven't took off yet. I haven't taken this one off. So what this basically does is there should be a 10-tooth gear over there. And let me show this through here. There should be a 10-tooth gear, which I don't have it here, but imagine there's a gear over there touching this and making contact with this. This basically spins until at some point the gear goes up, it loses contact with this, and when it goes up, the shaft, or well, the gear, touches with what I call the spinner gear, which is the gear that's, fastened to the body block. And that's how the robot can rotate and all that shit, Usually most of these spin clockwise, but there's also some that spin anti-clockwise. It all depends on the gear they have and the orientation. But, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much how it's supposed to work. So, technically, if I just wanted to grab the fucking thing and be like, okay, I'll just put this gear in that gear, it would work just fine. But again, we have a lot to do. Now, another really interesting thing, aside from the stupid head that's sealed, is that I tried putting what a regular, top robot fighter, every single Happy Kit robot would have as a speaker in the chest, and it actually fits perfectly. So there must be a version that's actually legitimately electronic, because this fits perfectly. All that it would need would be just a few cuts or something. Maybe the plastic is thin and you can actually make cuts in the inside. I'm not too sure about it. It doesn't look like it, but I suppose that if you were to make lines here, cut them, you could actually be able to, let the sound go out. It's pretty interesting. But again, there's no cuts, no lines, nothing. At least not now. So I'm not really sure. Again, as this robot has been tampered with before, I'm not really sure what the hell it had before. But I believe it's just legitimately like this. This is just not an electronic version, and I'm saying because you would see a wire broken off or something. Usually they do leave some kind of trace when they do it, but yeah. Of course, then we're gonna take this shit apart, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. This is easy enough because it was just a peg, and I had to like sand it off a little bit and desolder everything from the switch right now. Then I'll see what the hell I do with that. Okay. There we go. And right now I have to break these little bits of molten plastic. Like that. There we go. And the pegs are still intact. Then of course we need to move the shit out of the way. You know, take everything off to clean it up. Another thing, if you guys haven't noticed yet, is that I actually took all the stickers off while I was gone. Here's all of them. The forehead, the chest, the shoulders, the little bit in the chest, front, back, and the feet. At least those are the ones it has. Or it had. It'll have them again, whatever. Of course, these are a pain in the ass to take off. There we go. Better. Of course, this one has those springs that have the classic, you know, the little slot in the middle. They just poke in and they pass it through there, then they just push it back down. So I'm going to solder the spring there for extra contact. Well then, let's see if this shit comes off. Look at all that fucking rust. Oh dear lord. Moisture, my dear friends. Moisture. Yeah, this is gonna have to go into vinegar a little bit. I'll have to solder these springs. I'm gonna probably do that now. After all, I do have the parts and everything, so at the same time I can actually show how I do it. Because a lot of people wonder, like, why do you solder the springs? It's because it's you just don't want the springs coming off anytime. And even though they are not off, they could be. So let me zoom in. I'm gonna have to move this upwards. Let me zoom in and show what exactly do I do. So there's the thing. So the first thing I do, I grab some reliable acid, and with a screwdriver, with a stick, with a wire, even with the solder I'm using, I wet that in there. You know, I rinse this in there, and I put some so that the solder sticks at the first shot. So after that, all I do is this. Let it for a little bit so it actually starts sucking. Well, looks like we have it there. Let's see how it went. Okay, this is the other bad thing. There's a little leftover solder over there. Let me just make focus. That's what happens when there's like a large gap between the spring and the flap. Now there's still some in the back now. Again, this is something that takes a while to do. Even if you've done it so many times, sometimes the solder won't stick. The contact is too corroded, even after uncorroding, and you just can't do it at the first shot, so you have to like kind of sand it until you get to the bare metal. But there we go. Let's see if there's any. Okay. Oh god, I forgot I have to show it. There we go. I'll heat it up so everything sits correctly. Just a little blow. And there we go. Oh, actually, no, hold on. There's a little left over there. This has to be fucking flat, or at least, I mean, if you have a contact, you can also do this when you have like a contact that doesn't make contact with the battery. Because the slot or the division is too big, you can actually like put a blob of solder and it's going to push it forward, so just a heads up on that. So there we go. It's the best zoom I can get over here. There we go. There's that. Perfect. Maybe a little cutting over here just to make sure that everything is stuck in correctly. Yep, it's stuck correctly. You guys can see the little bit of solder that was left. And of course, that's just the flux. You usually take that off with a little contact cleaner and a toothbrush. Got the contact cleaner. Where the fuck do I have the toothbrush? There. Okay. Enough with this contact. So I'll do the same with the other one as well. Duh. Hopefully the solder doesn't just squirt like it did with the other one. Let me see if this thing's actually zooming in correctly. Okay, there we go. And there's no little, there's no little solder leftovers. There we go. That's very good. So this, with a little cleaning, it's ready to go back inside the robot. Even though I'll clean the tip as well, like, the upper half. Because this usually happens with the terminals, they get kind of corroded and everything, but I'll put them in vinegar anyways, just to take off that little, layer they have of rust. That's not necessarily rust, but the plastic, the metal is not shiny. Okay, so then of course the little tin clicker type piece. Gotta take that off. There we go. Much better. So I guess we're done with the contacts then. For the switch, I'll open it up at some point and, give it some contact cleaner, some shit like that, or just sand the contacts a little bit. Let's see. Every now and then I clean the tip of my iron. This is like the longest a tip has actually stood properly. Because before the tips would like turn completely black. And I have this tip since November, and it's already a miracle that, it's a miracle that right now, 3 months later, it actually keeps its, its ability to melt solder. Because what I would do back then would be sanding the thing. I wouldn't just, I would just scrape it, and that would pretty much just generate the thing to go completely black. And, right after that, the thing would start having issues, and I would have to sand it constantly every time I would use it. Pretty nice switch, huh? I like it. Okay. So now we're going to go with the arm. Arm. We're going to go with the first arm. This one. But I'm going to pause super quick to bring a zip tie. God damn, it's so hot outside. Okay. So we have the gun arm, and we're going to take it apart. This is the one that has the two parts together. Broken, but they're still together. So we see a little bit of plastic broken off. Okay. Of course, this is supposed to be glued, so the first thing we're going to do is apply some super glue over here. A little bit over there. And a little bit over there. I'll close it first with this. But now, here's where the interesting part comes. Now it's being held by that, but what I really want to do is put a zip tie and close this shit down. I'll approximate it to the size. Oh, of course, it had to break off. That's a classic thing. Okay. I would like it if this thing actually automatically focused on what I'm doing. So we're going to put that one there, and we're going to tighten it up the most we can. Like that. And in this case, I could just leave it like this, honestly. It's a funny, stupid thing, but I could just leave the zip tie like that. It's not going to modify anything. But, as I'm a tidy person, I'm not going to. Maybe a little bit around here. I'm going to grab the fucking... this cutter. There we go. Much better. Let's see. So that's the most we can tighten it. Let's see if it fits just fine. It'll fit with a little, struggle, but looks alright to me. Yep. Better than before. There we go. Okay. So, of course, this is not done yet. I have to put some glue between the zip tie and the piece, just to keep everything together. A little bit over there, just to complete that little spot, that little corner that has nothing in it. Hopefully it didn't go to the inside of the square fit. Because when the glue crawls to the inside of the square fit, you're in trouble. Okay. There we go. So I'll just leave this assembled for now, without it touching the wires or anything. And I'll let it rest so it actually dries up. And we're going to go with the other one. That it's going to be a little trickier to do because you don't have the other half, at least not to my knowledge. So I'm just going to leave this thing laying over there around next to the leg. Right there. And we're going to go with this one. This is the one that has the other thing. It has a half missing, so I can't really say exactly how to fix it yet. Okay. What the fuck? I'm not moving the lighting, I'm moving the zoom, you fucking phone. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm thinking, I'm assuming, I'm supposing that if I were to put a zip tie, it could actually keep it in place. However, I'm not going to do that. That is not the type of repairs I do. I don't know how to fix this the proper way, because I know I could just break a square shaft piece in half. But I want to do it properly and, in a tidy way. I suppose that this is a work for something that... Oh, it's not in the room. God damn it. Okay, so what I needed was baking soda, and I didn't have it in my in my, what's it called? In my room. I had to go outside to pick it up. So we're gonna leave this. Actually, I could fix that shatter over there. Yeah. Probably fix that right now. There we go. Holding it like that until the glue puts it in place. Well, this still cracks inward, so it's going to need a little melting here, at least. The plastic is so thin, it actually made a fucking hole. That's so stupid, okay. If it made a fucking hole, what the hell? Okay, that's better. So just more super glue over it, and we'll let this rest as well. There we go. I'll leave it over here. It has to lay flat so that the glue doesn't go everywhere. Like that. I'll leave it like that. There we go. So, now onto the baking soda trick. So what do I do exactly? I grab this and I put usually the first thing I do is I tie it or I glue it with a very, very little dab of glue so that, you know, you can just pull it out later on. I'm not too sure what to do here though. I think I'm going to put just a little dab, just a little one, to keep it in place while I'll do the whole process, and then hopefully it'll come off. Because I don't even know how far this is supposed to go. Oh yeah, okay, it's supposed to go that far down, okay. So what do we do right now? This is like the thing that I need this blue container for, or maybe this cap, not even the container. I'm gonna go get my 3D printer pliers and I'm gonna apply, like, put layers of glue here until they cover the shaft. After a long search, I actually found it. It was in my room, as usual. Cause if you want to know something about me, I'm a really, you know, I'm not really organized. I want to be organized, I try to be organized, but I end up failing miserably as usual. So what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna put as much as we can over the area where the glue is at. This is a classic trick for reinforcing plastic, but it takes a while to nail it. Then of course we have the other one over here. Very good. And of course I gotta keep doing that until the thing is completely covered up by white powder, which is not sugar nor cocaine. It's baking soda. I'm getting high on baking soda, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's see. This is gonna require a little strength to take off. Hopefully it comes off in one piece. And no, it didn't. It actually came off. Okay, at least it kept it in place. That's good. So now that we have the small structure, we can continue putting layers and layers of baking soda and glue without the fear of it getting deformed. And from there, I don't know what else I'm gonna do to keep it all together. The thing that I just noticed that I should probably consider doing is putting some baking soda at the bottom. Because I have like a lot at the tip but nothing at the bottom, and I should probably put some there. Let's see. These repair videos is something I always want to do, but then I just don't feel like it at all because of the many things that can go wrong. I'm not the kind of guy that repairs things while you have a camera shooting at you. I personally think it's way better to repair things when you're, you know, alone. Okay, so without breaking this, I'm going to push this in once again without the glue residue. Fucking Jesus Christ, get the fuck out of there. There we go. Okay, so I suppose this is how far it's supposed to go in there? I think. But of course now you can see a difference. It actually does. It's kind of loose. Not too loose, but a healthy dose of looseness. Okay. So I'm gonna have to continue doing this with these areas over here. Uh-huh. Come on, cover up that fucking slot. Nah, Jesus. Alright, so now it's coming all together as I expected it to. I think... No, wait. I was gonna say I think that's enough, but no. There's still the sides that I have to cover. I think that's enough. At least to keep the arm in place. Now the question that I have is, did I actually do it properly? Will this be enough, you know, the depth it has, will it be enough to make like a complete... Let's see. Will it actually fit properly in the robot once I push it from both sides? This one's kind of hard to push in. This one's loose, so whatever. Let's see, where's the body? Okay. It looks like I have made a mistake somewhere because this is not going all the way in. Let's see where. Oh, it's that other arm. Never mind. Let's see, what about now? That's a little better. So if I were to close the body down with this inside. Oh, that's right. The screw. Oh, the fucking baking soda. You see, this is why I don't like doing fucking repairs like that. Now I'll have to take the entire fucking thing out. Put all this baking soda back where it goes. Jesus Christ. I'll be back in a second. Okay, here we are again. So this is still either curved or... That's not all the way in again. So if I were to put this in here now... Oh, the screws, that's right. If I were to put this in... It looks alright, but it's crooked. The arms are actually crooked. I'm not sure what that's... What's it for? Is this one crooked? Both arms are actually crooked. This is going to need a bunch of adjustments. A bunch. The good thing is that most of the screws are the same. The only thing is that the ones from the arms and from the hips are actually golden. The other ones are silver. That's fairly interesting. So. Okay, so yeah, this actually fits properly. I mean... I think it's just how much it's supposed to fit. If not, then I'll just grab this and start carving a little bit. But I think that's gonna do it. At least for this arm. I'm not going to put that one. That's not the one I need. What I need to put right now is this one. Okay. The contacts are actually hot glued. That's pretty interesting. And the one that I marked as red is... Don't even tell me the fucking mark already came out. It's this one, and it's the one that goes in the front. The red one, there we go. Okay. I'll take those off. Those, we don't really need them now. We'll see what exactly goes on here. Well, still, it seems like there's a little need for an extra... Must be this section. Yeah, I'll have to see what to do with this, with the arm, because I think it was supposed to go a bit deeper in. Let's do it the stupid way. Whatever. Okay, I did it by melting a little bit to see if that helps with the shape and everything. The arms should still be in the same position. Oh, what a fucking... I fucking hate it when I have to, like... There. It still needs adjustments. I'll have to do that off camera. But that's practically it for now.